Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. If you remember in the last video, we did an unboxing of the Donner Arena 2000 multi-effects pedal. Today we're going to do an in-depth review. We're going to go in all to the nitty-gritty, all into the finer detail, the granular. We're going to cover the build quality, the sound quality, my overall opinions, my thoughts. Should you get it? That sort of thing, value for money. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what this pedal can do. It'd be good if I actually had a guitar to play. Give me 1 second. We're bringing out the big guns today. So we're going to use the Fender Vintera 2. A lot of questions about this guitar. As you can see, it's a very good looking guitar. It's in my videos on Instagram or TikTok, then you'll have seen me play this plenty. If you haven't, guys, my socials will be on screen. Make sure you go follow them up. I do release weekly guitar videos, typically R&B, neo soul, but I do everything. So anyway, I will be doing a separate video on this guitar. If you want to find out more about this and the specs, how it plays, the sound quality and all that, hit that subscribe button. All right, so yeah, to give you guys the best view of everything that's going on this angle, we'll have to do it. I've got a second camera here, which is showing the pedal itself. Just give you guys a rundown of the setup that I'm running. So we've got the guitar straight into the pedal, and then we're running the pedal to our interface, which is a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, so we're DIing it basically. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is the build quality. It's got a durable design, it feels robust, it feels roadworthy. So, you know, if you're gigging and you're worried if it's going to get damaged, I don't think that's a concern in my personal opinion. I wouldn't worry too much about accidental damage. Let's go ahead and turn it on. We're showing the Arena 2000 splash screen, and it defaults to the Hi There #1 preset. Now, I'm fully aware that you guys aren't here for a sound test, you're here for a review. I feel like going through a quick sound test of each of the core elements will give us a good idea of what we're playing with. So this is the out of the box tone. That's obviously a very clean tone. If clean isn't your thing, then we'll need to flick through. There's pretty much everything here. Right, I think it's probably a good time to see if we're in tune. So, to get to the tuner, you can simply hold down any of the foot switches and it will take you to the tuner. There we go. When you do that, it does mute the output. So if you are gigging, no one can hear you tuning, which is excellent. Let's just talk about the effects. Obviously, that's a huge thing when it comes to talking about a multi-effects processor. It's a very important thing which needs to deliver. And I think that the Donner Arena 2000 certainly delivers in that aspect. You've got over 100 classic effects simulations, you've got 80 amp simulations, and you've got 50 cabinet simulations. So that is a huge range of guitar tones, which you can all tweak to, you know, to your heart's content. So yeah, just flicking through these tones, we've got endless presets. If you're looking for clean tone, if you're looking for a distorted tone, a metal tone, you get 36 pre-programmed presets, and they have an ABC variation of each of those. So you've got 36 times 3 effectively. And then anywhere between 36 ABC to 50 are empty slots for you to program in your own presets. If I want to go ahead and create a preset, which I'll go ahead and quickly do now. Let's go ahead and add an amp. I believe there's a AC130 simulator. Here we go. So we've got number 17. AC130 clean. I'm just going to go ahead and lower the treble slightly, up the mids. The bass can stay the same. The gain can be raised a little bit. If I want to add a cab, we can also add a cab. So we've got VX212 on there. That's a nice tone. I'm going to skip the EQ for now. I'm going to skip the compressor. Let's add some reverb really quick. Loads of reverb. We'll go for room reverb, but we'll bump it up. Let's up the mix slightly. Cool. If we hit the store button in the top left, we then get to rename it. And we also get to change the slot. This bit is a bit tricky. It's a bit hard to get your head around how it wants you to use it in terms of activating, selecting, cancelling, etc. Give it a while, have some patience, and you'll figure it out. So at this point, to store it, you hit store, bam, save it, switch over, and there you go. So now we've got a preset saved. It's as simple as that. It's so easy to use, honestly, it's so good. It's not the best tone I've just created, but just for demonstration purposes, just to show you how easy it is to edit a tone and store a tone. So you've got so much room to play with. Having enough slots and presets is not a concern, especially if you're gigging. If you're just using it for recording, there's more than enough there. If you're gigging, there's more than enough there. So it's a very good piece of kit. Of course, it is a multi-effects pedal. Tones is the main element. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a future video where I break down my top tone tips for the Donut Arena 2000. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you know when that is released. Usability, it's fairly intuitive, especially if you haven't used a multi-effects pedal before. You've got your main switch here, which navigates the menus and it navigates through the preset options. You've got 3 foot switches here. Each of these take you to a preset. So for example, for one, you can change the preset location by moving the main switch. And then of course, so for example, if this is 1, A, B, C, 2, 1B, 1A, 1C, and it just goes, it scrolls through. You've got a semi-touchscreen display. So the effects that you can see that are lit up here are the effects that are active. To disable them, you simply touch it until it's off. And we can go back, there's a back button there. So it's a good indicator of what's active and what's on and what's not. I remember I was at a gig rehearsal and I accidentally switched the preset, and what told me that was that all the illumination for the lights and the effects that I needed went off. That's a good indicator, especially if you're a gigging musician. You've got your expression pedal here, which I think, yeah, so by default, controls the volume. You hit the expression pedal button. Here are all your expression pedal settings. You can assign it what to trigger. So, you know, your reverb, your delays, your volume, your drive, everything can be triggered from that. The only criticism that I have is that the expression pedal is quite small. When you're using it, you have to be careful not to overdo it or underdo it. One thing I do want to comment on actually is the overall size of the pedal. It is a fantastic size. It is so portable. I think you'll struggle to find a case which won't accommodate the size of this pedal. So Donner have absolutely nailed it on the portability element. In terms of switching tones, like I said earlier, it's quite easy to do with this switch here. You can also bank up. If you press 2 of these foot switches together, it gives you the ability to bank down, and again, likewise bank up. You've also got a looper, so if you wanted to create some loops, you can do, and you can also go ahead and amend the recording volume and also the playback volume. So you've got a little bit of flexibility there in terms of how that's heard. It actually has a drum looper, which I haven't played around with, but let's give it a go now. Oh, that's actually really cool. We've got many different drum presets, pop, rock, blues. Oh, I think I've just discovered it. You can actually use the looper with this as well by looks of it. Let's try it. So we just created a loop off the whim, right? You can use the inbuilt drum loops with the looper to create a one-man band. Ain't that crazy? That was actually kind of cold. I just made that up in like 10 seconds. I'm struggling to kind of identify what more you'd want from a pedal like this, especially for that price point. I think if it's your first multi-effects pedal, you can't go wrong. I think it's a solid choice. You've got a wide range of effects, well, everything that you would need to do your mixing if you're a session musician. This kind of covers the needs of any aspect of guitar playing. Right, so before we end this video, I just want to wrap up a few final thoughts. If we break it down by being just a bedroom guitarist, a session musician, being in the studio, and someone that's performing, I think it'll meet all your needs from a foundational basic level. It's got all the effects that you need. Build quality means it will last. It's got all the inputs and outputs that you will need. You know, if you're playing in your bedroom, then you know you've got more than what you need. If you're a session guitarist, session musician, and you're in the studio, then you can do all your mixing here. You can get all your tones. You can make the producer's life easier by having everything pre-mixed right here. This gives you a bit more flexibility over what you're recording in. It reduces the need for the producer to have plugins and effects. If you're recording DI, you know, no one likes lugging around big old amps and cabs. This should be everything you need from a studio session recording perspective. I have used this in sessions that I've been part of, and it's done the job. It's done the job really well. I have used this to perform as well. Again, I would say the only criticism I do have is the expression pedal is quite small, but with that size, you've got amazing portability. You do have the ability to use an external expression pedal if it really does bother you that much, but I'd be surprised if it does. Taking that to and from the venue couldn't have been easier because it fit in the same case that my guitar was in. So yeah, I'm very happy with this pedal. I think if you're on the fence about buying it, what you get for the price point is amazing, and I'll be getting a heck of a lot of use out of this for time to come, or as long as it works, I should say. So that's going to conclude this review. Hopefully you got some value out of it. If you have any questions about the pedal itself, please leave a comment down below. If you haven't already and you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hopefully I'll be able to do more gear reviews. I've got many guitar reviews coming, comparison. I've got loads more ideas that I need to get on this platform. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.